What are we talking about today? We're talking about, or I'm talking about, the power of courageous conversations. The power of courageous conversations. What do I mean by this? Well, for me, a courageous conversation is a conversation that if you could get out of having, you'd kind of want to. It's a conversation that you're a bit fearful of. It's a conversation where you're not necessarily looking forward to that actual conversation. Have you ever had a conversation like this before? It could be with a partner, a friend, a loved one, a son, a daughter, anything like that, okay? But here's the thing. When we try to run away from things, it often doesn't work. Often we need to face our challenges because otherwise it just comes back to us eventually. So what I've found is this. Sometimes I might have had a conflict, for example. So I've had conflicts with business partners, with friends, with family members. And that's what happens, isn't it? We have disagreements, we have these conflicts. And what I've found is when I've been able to, and sometimes we have to get rid of those high emotions first, but when I've been able to sit down and have a proper conversation with that person or those people, generally at the end of it, you feel better than what you did at the beginning of it, because it solves so many things. If you can have these conversations, those conversations that you don't really want to have, you've been avoiding, but you decide to have them anyway, what you want to do is you want to be open, honest, vulnerable. You want to be able to speak your truth and say, give your opinions, but also be empathetic to the other person. Sometimes that can take a while, but if you set it up so that you've got the time and you're in the right mind frame where you want to actually get that problem resoluted, if you like, you want to sort it out, and you go to that, you go into that with the right frame of mind, then these courageous or vulnerable conversations can actually work wonders. Because here's the thing, by you having them, you heal yourself. If you're saying things that you feel worried about saying, you are actually getting healing as you say those things. You are also building up your ability to be courageous. This will transfer into other situations in your life, other times where you need to be courageous and your little voice is saying, no, 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 don't do it. But you choose to be courageous. It's like a muscle, you build it up. So you get healing, you learn to be courageous. You can also become much more empathetic to other people, a lot less judgmental, because if you listen to that other person that you're having the conversation with, remember it's not a one-sided conversation, then you can learn and grow and understand how other people see things, how other people feel. So you can be more empathetic as well. I found before in the past, it's broken down relationship barriers. I have got closer, much closer to the person that I've had that courageous or vulnerable conversation to. We've resolved the conflict, we've got rid of that conflict, we've got rid of maybe feelings of shame and guilt. And sometimes it takes time, sometimes it takes several conversations, but we've been able to do that. And what's left is a stronger, more honest, more open relationship. Or you might get to the point where you just agree to disagree or decide to part ways, but whatever, it needed that conversation to enable you to get to that point, rather than just sort of knowing that you should have that conversation, but kind of hanging on and not doing it. Okay, so I'm hoping that you have gleaned some information from this. Where in your life, or who in your life, do you need to have a vulnerable, courageous conversation with it?